All right. Joining me all the way from Stockholm, Sweden is my boy Anton from the band Circle of Nerves. What's going on, brother?
Yo, what's up? All good, dude. I'm all good. It's cool to be here and speak with you, so I'm fucking excited. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited about it too, man. I was going over your profile, man, on Instagram. You met some really cool fuckers from the States, man, over the past year. Tell us about that.
dude, I'm just a fucking concert nerd, dude. If it's a concert, I'm there. That's just how, like, I'm addicted to it, like fucking. And I'm the kind of person that can just wait outside a show for like, hours just to meet like Kirk Weinstein or fucking Mike from I Hate God or fucking Gary Hole from Slayer or Exodus. It's like, I'm just a music fan, Like, man, I mean, music is fucking the greatest fucking thing ever. So I mean, it's so cool when like I met Igor and Max, 2023, and they're literally like two of my biggest idols. So it's like I usually don't fan out, but I gotta be honest, I fanned out. Like it
Oh, dude, I
was,
totally understand. Like,
I was like starstruck. Like this is the dude who plays on fucking Roots, which
right.
is, by the way, the greatest fucking Sepultura album. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, man, that is as what they say. That's your truth. And some people will disagree, but
I know
I
for
know
a fact a lot of people disagree on that one,
I mean,
but
I know like I hold roots in high regard, man. But for me, it's always beneath the remains.
well, that also really good fucking album. I mean, Inner Self, dun, 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 that shit fucking like if you're not headbanging to that one, you're either deaf or stupid.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So you went to a show last night.
Yeah.
Tell me about it, man. What what
Uh
what, what was going on in Stockholm?
the underground scene here in Sweden is pretty uh, I'm gonna sound a little bit arrogant right now, but it's
Go ahead.
very, if you like Swedish death metal and 80s speed metal, move to Sweden. If you're like me, who prefers groove and slam and brutal death and new metal,
Right.
this is probably not the greatest country to live in. But my good friends in Diabolo, they're called Diabolo, and they're like a mix between um, Pantera, White Zombie, Black Label Society. Really, it has that groove that makes you want to move.
Right.
They're really good. But I mean, the scene here in Sweden is, it's hard for a band like us because we're so different compared to everything else here in Sweden.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like we actually have more shows planned right now outside Sweden, which sort of tells you all you need to know, really. So
Yeah, I would think that Circle of Nerves is more of a niche band for some place like a region like Sweden, because like you said, I mean everything in Sweden is has historically been, symphonic death metal or just straight up death metal, and like black metal even. I mean that's been the mainstays of the culture over there. Everything that I love about Sweden, that I mean, I grew up on Entomb and Dismember and Dissection and all that shit. In fact, I mean, I listen to it on a daily basis, dude.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Sweden has a lot of good bands, can't deny that. But
hey,
Swedish death metal is so common right now that you could literally be walking like in the middle of nowhere in like the woods and pick up a fucking stone, and underneath it's gonna be a bunch of ants playing fucking Swedish death metal. Like that's how common it is. It's like, and I have friends who play in bands that sound like Entombed and Dismember. So I'm not gonna not gonna talk bad about it, but I feel like it's like it was cool in like 1992, and it's
right.
still cool, but can't you just do something else,
I get it. Yeah, like
so
we're kind of both, products of our scenes,
yeah.
like everything that you're playing with Circle of Nerves, well, everything that you were inspired to play with Circle of Nerves, that's kind of been home brewed over here in Louisiana, like
Oh
the
yeah,
I
yeah,
hate I
exactly,
hate
yeah,
God, Crowbar, Soylent Green,
yeah, list
all
goes
all
on.
all all the heavy hitters, man. I mean, they're like just right down the road from me, and yeah, so I get it, like, and I think me going against the grain and listening to more things that were in, Scandinavia based, like that's just how it was, and that's how it is for me. I mean, that's just kind of like what I grew up with, and I just keep playing it. But there is, the musician side of me. I just can't help but like slow some shit down and either sludge it out or doom it out. You know, whatever I'm recording in my room. That's just kind of how I do. But anyway, I'm really curious, man, to hear about your story. I mean, I know it's probably a short one because what you're like, what, 24 years old or something like
Yeah,
that? You said?
24. I'm the youngest in the band.
Yeah. But that goes to tell me right off the bat that drummers are still a high commodity. you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I've always been drawn to drums. So for me, it's like I remember I saw like the music video for My Plague, Slipknot, and I was like, the coolest dude in that band is Joey Jordison, and that's what I want to do. So it's like, I mean, the drums are the coolest instrument. So, but yeah, it's true. It's if you're a drummer, it's pretty easy to get a gig.
I'm really curious about your musical upbringing. And we can go as far back as you want to take it. And I'm just curious if you were self-taught, were you school taught, did you learn music from in growing up in school, that kind of shit.
Well, uh, let's see here. Pretty much like there's no really like I'm not from a music family or anything like that, but my mom used to play a lot of Guns N' Roses and AC/DC and you know Iron Maiden, those type of bands, and my
Good
dad,
ones.
yeah, exactly. And my dad, he said you always used to play like Eurodance and electronica, like bands like The Prodigy. So I sort of like because I have like my music taste is very broad. I mean, I listen to fucking Pig Destroyer and Primitive Man, and then I can
Hell
listen
yeah, dude.
to fucking like uh, The Prodigy or like some Eurodance from the 90s. Like if it's good music, it's good music. But I didn't really, I wasn't never really interested in actually playing in a band. I was always drawn to drums,
Mhm.
and I always used to like, just pretend I'm a drummer, but I never actually got a drum kit until I think 2015 because my friend and I wanted to start a band and he had a guitar and he said like, "Okay, you need to fucking get a drum kit so we can start playing." And I did. The same summer, he cut his hair and stopped listening to metal.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, I'm still here. So yeah, I
There you go.
mean, I'm pretty glad I listened to him, even though we never started that band. But that's another story. Um, but I'm actually self-taught. I'm pretty like I can't even do fucking paradiddles. Like I'm like that's pretty much all I can do. Like I mean, I'm as self-taught as like, you can be. Like my technique when it comes to blast beats are absolutely like horrible. But as long as I can do it,
Yeah, man. I love the brutal honesty. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit about like playing weird ass shit. I mean, I want to fucking look cool behind a kid like Joey Orson. Like I don't. I mean, if you go to a show, you want to see something like fucking Pantera where they're all fucking just headbanging, or do you want to see like, I'm not gonna talk shit about any bands, but I mean, Meshuggah. I mean, they're like because it's so complicated, the music is so intense that you can't really move. You need to be so focused on the music that it's like they're standing still for like an hour because the lead needs to like, oh shit, okay, here's this tricky part.
Yeah,
Then you have like
not too much showmanship, going on right there.
exactly, and then you have like a song like Walk, dun, 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 like which is like the most like so basic, but it's like because they're moving and Phil Anselmo is fucking like doing this slam dance he used to do. Fucking Dimebag is headbanging, Rick's is headbanging, uh, Vin is just behind the kit, just looking like the fucking coolest motherfucker on earth. It's like that's what I like. So I've always been more focused on the energy, like play hard, look hard. Um, and not to do too complicated shit. Obviously, I'm a drummer, so I always want to do more than maybe I should. So
Yeah, I remember whenever John Carlo had sent me the link to the video "Pain Is My Drug." I mean, you behind the kit like a fucking madman. I mean, you're beating the shit out of the drums, that's for sure, and you definitely got some groove to it.
oh, thanks, dude. Thanks.
The following releases that y'all put out, and going back to the story though, dude. What what was the transition from like mom and dad's influences and like, as you grew up and you started coming into your own with like some more extreme metal from the states? Like how'd you get into all that?
Honestly, I think it's like, so I found Slipknot in like 2005. I think I was only 5 at the time, and
Damn.
like Drowning Pool. I mean, I'm here with a Devourment T-shirt, and I play in a sludge band, but I can say proudly that new metal is my favorite genre ever. So I grew up with a lot of new metal because obviously 2005 that was still sort of the new metal era.
Right.
So I found a lot of bands like Drowning Pool, Dope, Static X, Slipknot. And keep in mind, this is 2005. I'm only 5 at the time, so
Yeah.
it's really hard to discover when you barely know even what a CD is, you know.
Right.
Um, so I've always been drawn to like the more extreme, the heavier it's usually, in my opinion, more intriguing. So um, it's just like I remember when I discovered Dark Funeral, it's like, oh shit, this probably the heaviest fucking shit I've ever heard. And same with like, grindcore, brutal death, and slam. But I would say like the transition, it's hard to say really when it happened because I've always been like it went so quick, like suddenly I'm listening to Iowa from Slipknot, and then the other day here am I listening to fucking Dark Funeral.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a couple of years that because when you're so young, you don't really know how to find music, and this is like very early. Um, like YouTube wasn't big enough that it's just to open it up and search like death metal from Poland or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
And
impressive,
obviously,
man.
and since I was so young, I didn't really know how to use internet really. So, but I would say around 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around that time, that's when I'm really like fucking death metal and black metal when I
How
started to
old
listen to it.
how old were you then in 2012?
I was 12.
12?
I'm
Okay.
born in 2000, so it's easy to
Oh, that's easy.
yeah. uh,
Right.
but the thing is, I actually discovered brutal death, and slam before I found regular death metal. So I was listening to like Internal Bleeding and Devourment and Dying Fetus and Aborted, bands like that. And then I discovered like Morbid Angel and Deicide, and I was like, fuck, this is boring compared to, to fucking Dying Fetus. I know that's super rude of me to say because they're legends, but I mean,
No, man, I get it. That's your taste. I mean, hey, man, that's what's all about. Like, getting to know more about your taste and what gets you going as a musician and what inspires you. That's what we're all about over here. Uh, as controversial of a take that is, I'm never gonna knock it. I mean, I just find it all interesting.
yeah, I mean, I remember because I found discovered like extreme like brutal death and slam before discovering regular death metal. Usually it's the other way around. Uh, and I remember my friend, the one who wanted me to start a band, he showed me, I think, "Where Slime Lives" from Morbid Angel, which is by the way my favorite Morbid Angel song, and it's fucking heavy. That I
It
love
is
that
heavy
song,
as shit.
but at the at the time I was like listening to like Vulvectomy and Cranium and like Human Reaction, a bunch of like underground slam bands that only weirdos know. You know what I mean? So it's like I remember, and he told me like this is the heaviest fucking shit you will ever hear, and I put it on. I'm like, it's heavy, but I mean, have you heard of this band? And it's like some weird fucking brutal death metal from like Greece, you know. So I don't know. I always preferred when it's super brutal and extreme when it comes to death metal. So I'm more of a slam and brutal death metal fan than just regular death metal. But yeah, I mean, then I like after that I discovered black metal, and obviously since I'm Swedish, it's we have a lot of good black metal bands. So yeah, I mean, I just love discovering music.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I don't think I ever heard it being put that way before. You always hear people referring to to extreme metal music, but you never, I very rarely. You might be the first person to tell me I really like scary music. And that's something I get down with. Uh, so how did you and the rest of the guys from Circle Nerves meet?
Oh, it's actually quite a funny story. So this was in 2022. I was Agnostic Front played here in Stockholm. So by the way, one of my favorite hardcore bands, and I was trying to do a stage dive. Unfortunately, there were no people where I was supposed to dive, so I literally face planted.
Oh,
Um, and GSC, the vocalist, he was there, and he saw me, and his girlfriend at the time told him like, "Did you see that fucking idiot? He stage dived where there were no people." Um, and after the show, you know, I wanted to meet the band, right? So I was waiting outside the venue, and I saw GSC because I've seen him before at shows, but nothing more than that. We didn't talk to each other. I just saw him at the show and he saw me. Then the week after, I was at Deftones. They played in Stockholm, and waiting after the show, as I always do because meet the band. I want to meet the band, and he was there. And usually, you always recognize people at shows because Stockholm is pretty small after all. But Agnostic Front and Deftones, that's sort of two completely different styles of music. So I thought, okay, this is pretty cool that this guy likes Agnostic Front and Deftones because usually people don't really like both bands, you know?
right.
So I went up to him and like, oh, aren't you the guy at the you were at the Agnostic Front show the last week? And was like, yeah. And we started talking, and then he told me like, weren't you trying to do a stage dive? And I was like, oh shit, did you see that? And that's pretty much how we met. And we shared our contact so we can contact each other on Instagram or whatever. Um, so and he told me I played in a band at the time which I wasn't really. I wanted it to be darker, heavier, and I wasn't really. Uh, I guess you could say happy how the situation in the band was. And he was actually in the same situation as well. He played in a band where he didn't really feel like just I'm just gonna say he didn't really he wasn't enjoyed like he didn't really enjoy himself. So we told like both of us wanted to create a new band which was gonna be really heavy, very dark, and it's all about friendship. Like just because it's so common that like you're in a band but you never meet outside the band. It's like it's so common where you rehearse and you do the gig and then you don't speak until the next show, we
Yeah.
wanted to create a band where it's like we can have just movie nights together and watch fucking horror movies or go to
Yeah.
the bar on normal Friday. um so our goal was just to make like a really heavy band with just friendship in it
Yeah.
because
Based
it's
on
so
friendship.
yeah, basically because it's so hard when there's like a leader and he like telling everyone to what to do. We just wanted everyone has their like everyone has a voice, and we listen to everything.
Yeah.
What everyone has to say, which
I,
is
I run,
pretty easy because it's only three people, but still.
yeah, I ran into a lot of that and just knowing and interviewing local bands around my area, and I noticed that there's the common thread is there's always like the one the guy who does all the business ends of everything, and usually that is like mainly the sole songwriter, whether it be a guitar player or a vocalist or whatever, whoever like basically founded the band. I and I noticed that those bands don't typically hang out with each other. Maybe they hang out, uh, just before they go on the stage, you know, but that's about it.
Been there,
Uh,
done that. Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
and I know that for me, that was one thing that always kind of like deterred me from like joining a band, aside from my shitty playing. But I was like, I want to be friends with, like you said, I just want to be friends with the guys. I want to be able to hang out. I want to be able to like have my voice, accepted and like for ideas and whatnot. So I totally get that, man. I totally understand where you're coming from. I love the fact that Circle of Nerves is based on friendship first and foremost, because if you take yourself too seriously, you know. You could be setting yourself up for some disappointment.
yeah, uh, definitely. And it's just much, it's like, it's so hard to, not hard, but it's like when you play in a band and you only do it for like to play shows, it's actually, it gets like pretty stale after a while, because like I, I'm in a band with these people, but we like never meet outside playing shows and rehearsing, and it's quite like, I don't know, it just, me and Giese wanted to just start a band where it's like after the rehearsal we can just talk about life and be friends, because
Yeah.
hopefully we can be at the point where we're gonna share a fucking, tour bus or whatever, and you don't want to fucking spend like 3 months with people you don't even like, so yeah, we're that's like the most important thing with Circle and Nurse, that everyone has the right to speak, sort to say.
Who came up with the name?
Yes, yeah, it's a great fucking name.
So can you tell me about it? Tell me the origin story of the name.
Um, I actually don't know. Beside, well, it's actually a pretty boring story. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's
Hey,
actually a
dude.
song from I Hate God.
Okay.
It's from their latest albums. It's just a song title. He thought it's like, that's a really cool title. I want to have a band name like it, and I was like, yeah, that is a cool name.
See, that's terrible because I should know. I should have known that. I mean, probably. I think the reason being, as much as I love, I hate God. I'm a purist, and it's take as needed for pain.
It's the greatest.
Is the greatest
Yeah,
fucking I hate God album, dude. Like
yeah.
straight up. That and the last album, I think it was just a self-titled I Hate God.
Oh, from 2014, right?
Yes, yes. The last uh recording that Joey
Yeah.
Lacaze was on. I mean, that one is really great too. I mean, they're all great, man, but God, there's something about those two albums that really stand out for me. Um, well, Take As Needed was like definitely my introduction to it. Way back. I don't know. I was probably 12 years old. Like like trying to figure life out and figure out what my tastes were. But yeah, I'm. It's kind of cool because like you tell me that you're into Pig Destroyer and Aborted and Devourment and all this, and then like you kind of you know not really slow it down, but maybe slow it down tempo wise with Circle of Nerves. Like, was that intentional?
Um, well, let's just say I'm always the one that's like, shouldn't we make the songs a little bit faster? Like Funeral Mind, when we play that song live, it's like twice the speed. It's like do do do.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I mean, it's like, uh, it's just about like the most important thing is to make the song like heavy and groovy. Um, but it's definitely quite hard for me actually to play at a lower tempo, because I'm so used to play like pretty fast stuff, like, you
Mhm.
know, devourment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it is like obviously because we do play sludge after all, we want to have like that sort of bouncy groove. And if you do it too fast, you won't have that groove anymore. It's more about it's like Circle of Nerves is not about speed. It's about like the riffs and the grooves.
Yeah.
And it's hard to have a groovy, groovy like a groovy beat if it's too fast. So
Yeah. That makes all the sense. I was listening to the latest single. Was it
a Demoness Night.
Evenest Nights? And definitely that one definitely resonates with me. It was a little bit more up tempo.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's right.
Uh and I just noticed that you could manage, like just some straight up uh shit. Uh some straight up like aggression and speed with that groove. I mean, and it's something like that, y'all take into every release that y'all had so far. And GC's vocals, man, they're like they kind of almost teeter on the edge of like, a black metal vocalist at times, and I've always dug that about it, about his vocals.
Yeah, he that's the sort of thing that, in my opinion, or our opinion in Circle of Nerds, that we sort of stand out a little bit from the sludge scene because GSE he has like black metal vocals, but the way he um, sings it is more in a hardcore new metal way because he wanted to be catchy and easy to remember, sort of like Max Cavalera. His lyrics are always simple to remember, so it's easy for the crowd to sing along. And then I'm not really a sludge drummer. I'm more of a, you know, brutal death new
Yeah, yeah,
metal drummer.
yeah,
I'm more of a, Hatebreed and Machine Head and Devourment and Slipknot. That's sort of where I grew up on playing, So that's sort of why there's not too many like those typical sludge grooves, and that's why I don't use like a big ride to crash on, which is very common in sludge metal.
yeah. What was it like recording in a studio? Was that your first time?
No, it was not. It was I've been in the studio before, but I'm actually one of those people who absolutely fucking hate being in the studio. I like when I'm in the studio, like all my talent like literally like goes away immediately. I'm like, how do I hold the sticks? Like, I hate being in the studio. It's like I'm really bad at it. So
It sounds nerve wracking.
yeah, I've never liked it. I will never like I can understand why drummers do use um like program drums
Uh huh.
because it's so much easier. Like I'm really bad in the studio. Like so yeah. I mean, it's more like it makes me like gives me like PTSD thinking about it. It's
Oh
like
shit!
no,
I
not
didn't mean
that
to
bad,
cause
but
that.
no, but I mean GSC and Marco, the guitarist, they're great in the studio. They can fucking do is like record a song quick, and here's me trying to fucking play the song for the like seventh time, fucking up at the intro, like
Did the engineer or the producer like advise you to like put a click on or something or anything like that?
yeah, yeah, we recorded every song to a click just so I sort of can have something to go after. But since I'm so like in the zone, I'm like I've always forget something like, oh fuck, I didn't do that fill I wanted to do, or I accidentally actually in the intro to Exhumation, you can hear me actually accidentally hitting the ride symbol, but I've done that take so many times, and it was always something that I fucked up on, so I was like, oh, fuck it, leave it, I don't want to play this shit again. So
I just gotta ask. I mean, was there any time whenever you were recording, or maybe you were like writing a drum part for the band? Was there any time for you that said, man, maybe I should take some lessons?
not really in the sense of like playing um playing the songs. Like I don't the playing itself, I don't have any problem with that. Like I can play it, but it's just when I'm in the studio, it's always like maybe speeding up at this part, or I'm dropping a drumstick at that part, or I'm accidentally hitting a cymbal. Like it's very hard to just do it like straight up clean recording. And then when we play it live, it's like flawless. So I don't know. I wish it was the other way around, because when you're live, people don't really think about if I accidentally hit the right cymbal. But when I'm in the studio, it's like I hit pretty much everything beside the thing I'm supposed to hit, you know. So
I know GC has ties with Sunlight Studios. Is that what y'all recorded?
yeah, we did Exhumation and Demoness Night, our two latest singles. So yeah, we recorded it at Sunlight.
How was it like recording with Thomas Skosberg?
It was He's actually literally one of the coolest people ever. He's so sweet. It's actually quite hard because you can spend pretty much more time talking to him than actually recording, which is not good if you're there to record music. But it
I
was
mean,
cool.
yeah, I mean, I'm totally envious of y'all guys, man, that were able to just go out there and hang out with Thomas. I've been trying to get him on my podcast ever since Born and I came on the podcast like a couple years back. I know he's a busy guy,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Thomas is not the type of person who's he uses Windows XP still.
wow.
Yeah, so he's fucking hardcore.
I mean, you're talking about a guy who's like single-handedly responsible for that sound, dude. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean he's a legend. I mean that's the cool thing about him, because he's so nice, yet he's like responsible for literally so many amazing albums, like Nocturnal Silence from Necrophobic, Left Hand Path. I mean, Grave, Dismember. I mean, fuck,
fucking
so many.
Soul Side Journey by Dark Throne. I mean, it's
Yep,
the list goes on and on and on.
yep.
And he's still doing it. The dude has a passion. I mean, he obviously has a passion for recording and producing, and I think he'll probably die behind that fucking board or whatever, you know. And I think that's just tremendous. I mean, the world needs more people like fucking Tomas.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. He's fucking cool. Um, and they turned out great in my opinion. They're very. You can definitely hear it sunlight when you're listening to it,
Oh
which I
yeah,
think it's quite cool actually.
yeah. He definitely has a signature sound going for him, and it's just it's inescapable. If one is well versed in the sunlight sound, I mean, you could just hear it, with Circle of Nerves with anyone that he's recorded. It's fucking amazing. Uh, where was that? Speaking of Sunlight Studios, like, was that? Did you feel intimidated at all, like entering that studio?
Not the fact that it's sunlight, more because it's I have to record. I'm like I'm telling you, dude. I don't like to record. I feel like it's so like I get so stressed out because I know already before even entering the studio that I will fuck up and I will have to play through the songs a lot of fucking times. So yeah, but I'm happy how Demoness Night. I'm actually really happy how all the songs have turned out so far. They're awesome in my opinion.
Y'all got anything on deck as far as another release?
Yeah, we have new material. We hope to release it before the summer, which I'm hopeful we'll do. But it's gonna be fucking nasty. It's gonna be heavy as fuck. So it's not as rock and roll as um, Demoness Night. We're going back more to Pain Is My Drug sound, more just in your face, really extreme.
I could
Um,
probably guess, but I'm not gonna because I want to hear it from you. Who are some of your main influences as far as drummers are concerned?
Actually, um, well, my main one, Joey fucking Yorson, greatest drummer ever.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually spent like 2 hours yesterday just watching Joey Jordison videos. Like, I mean, like when he passed away in 2021, there like my friends literally called me like to see how I was like feeling because they know how much I loved him, you know. It was almost like a family member that passed away, even though I, never met him. He had no idea who I am, you know, but like the impact Slipknot has on me and still have is you know, hu- huge. I love Slipknot. And it's sort of like I've noticed like a lot of people sort of look down on someone nowadays if you like Slipknot because they're not really, true or whatever. But I mean, Iowa is the greatest album ever made. I don't give a fuck what anybody
dude.
says.
Dude, I remember whenever Iowa came out, and I was at a friend's apartment, and I knew because like I was the music nerd out of the bunch, and I kept my ear to the ground, like as far as I can remember, and I remember like reading about it in whatever magazine, and and then they had a performance on Conan O'Brien. I don't know if you ever,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw that YouTube
Yep.
whenever they premiered uh
I think it was Left Behind, right? Or maybe My Plague. Oh, I
no,
don't
no,
know.
no, no, it was off of Iowa. Um it was the one that starts off what, 5 5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Heretic Anthem. Yeah,
There's it,
yeah,
man. Yeah, yeah. It had that sample come in, and dude, like the audience for Conan O'Brien was not fucking ready for that.
yeah.
I mean, they just broke it, and it was the heaviest thing I've ever seen on live television at the time. And yeah, so that album definitely stands out for me as well. I really love Iowa, dude. Like really do. Um, and I have a best friend of mine who I grew up with, and dude, he's all about. I mean, he's all about Slipknot. He's older than me. He's like, see, I'm 48, I'd say 47, and and actually, that was the last concert I went with him. I actually bought him tickets to Slipknot in
Oh,
Houston.
really? Oh, awesome. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was his birthday, and, I said, "Dude, look, we gotta go. We just gotta go." This is his favorite band. I mean, I enjoy Slipknot too, dude. The older shit, the better for me. And you will never hear me knock someone's taste, when it comes to something, I made the statement before, like, you're younger than me. I got a good 20 years on you. And, you grew up in a time where, you know, all of that was in your face. And, you didn't, you and I both, as far as like being music aficionados, I would say, we have the the option to either go backward, in
Yep.
time and check out what we missed, or just listen to what we got going on right now. And like you said, dude, at the top of the conversation, music is everything. Music is the best thing in the world, and
Yeah.
I'm in total agreement with you, dude. Because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have this podcast. I wouldn't be talking to you.
Yeah, I mean, as I said earlier, good music is good music. No matter if it's from, 2024 or if it's like Jimi Hendrix from fucking the 60s, you know what I mean? As long as it's good, So
Yeah, as long as it doesn't suck.
yeah, exactly. Like a lot of music unfortunately do, but that's another story.
You by any chance a Cradle of Filth fan?
I actually do like Cradle of Filth. But only a couple of songs. I'm actually not a big Danny Field fan.
Neither am I.
Too high pitched for me. But instrumentally it's good.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I have a good friend of mine, an actual fellow Marine who does the artwork. Not the artwork, but he did some graphic novels with Danny Field. So
Oh
I'm not gonna.
really? Wow,
Yeah.
cool. I
Uh,
mean, Danny seems super cool. It just I mean, his vocals are uh, maybe not maybe not my thing, like
I get it.
I
I get it.
prefer someone who sounds more like a fucking just monster
Yeah.
instead of like okay, that scared little girl. I said it. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I have to ask you this though. Being that you're a huge fan in the band. The band of Circle Nerves is like kind of based on sludge metal and
Yeah.
whatnot. Do y'all dig on Solid Green?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a huge Sludge fan. I love Sludge. But yeah, so they're awesome, dude. I mean, Acid Bath. By the way, the 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 episode you did with Acid Bath was awesome.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
but I mean, Acid Bath, Crowbar Down. I mean, I love Sludge. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I need it. I know the drummer in
Oh,
both
you do?
Solid Green and Crowbar, my boy Tommy.
Oh,
And
awesome.
he is one guy that I need to get on the podcast. It's only a matter of time. I got
That
like
would be awesome, dude. Yeah.
he's always hot in high demand. I mean, he's always traveling the world with Crowbar,
Yep.
obviously. So so I think these holidays I'm gonna hit him up and I'll definitely let you know when that's gonna take
Hell yeah.
place.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Tommy is so cool because he plays sludge metal in Crowbar, but he plays more like a hardcore drummer, if you know what I mean. Like, and that's what I really like about him. He has more of a punch. He plays harder. Um, he's a great drummer.
You talk about music nerds, Tommy is one of them. Like he is probably one of the biggest ones that I've ever met. And that's no knock on you, Tommy, if you're listening. Uh, he showed me his in his bedroom. He has this massive music collection, like
Oh
CDs like that covered like in like an entire wall, and everything is alphabetized, and
shit! Holy,
it's some wild shit, dude. I mean, you name it, he's got it. Box sets upon box sets. I mean, like 70s, 60s, 80s, 90s metal just out the woodwork. It's just crazy, dude. And I think that's what makes Tommy such a great drummer, aside from the fact that he was, he was in a school. He got personal lessons from one of the great local drum instructors in New Orleans. Uh, and he just has an ear for shit, and I think I say that shout to you, being that you're a younger guy. Like go back and listen to like whatever, if you hear a certain freaking music or an artist that inspires you, take that with you in your arsenal, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Soylent Green, they're so good. I mean, oh, the album, the blue album cover with like the orange planet or whatever.
Was it Pussy Soul?
Is that the name? I don't remember. Fuck. But Soylent Green, they're so good.
Yeah. Dude, yeah. I was looking back on my phone memories, and it's like it was like the year of Solid Green because they fucking they were they reunited for all the major metal fests
Oh, really? I didn't know
this
that.
year.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got together. They got back together for started with Milwaukee Metal Fest, and then Maryland Death Festival, and then California Death Fest.
Shit. So Soylent Green and Acid Bath is back. Damn.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's
Great
wild
time to be
shit.
alive.
It is a great time to be alive, man. And I also caught the hometown show in New Orleans. It was
Oh,
sweaty
you
as all
did?
shit, and like
Awesome.
and everybody, the who's who of the Louisiana metal scene was at that show, and it was something to be. It was a damn spectacle of all things, dude. I just can't put it in words
Can
properly,
imagine. Wow.
but but yeah,
I'm jealous.
come on down, man. I got room for you. Uh, you know, I'll be finding myself in Sweden one day. Um,
Dude, just hit me up.
for sure, dude. I told Robin from Born to Die that
Oh, yeah.
it's only a matter of time. I'm always I got a trip scheduled to go back to Oslo in April,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, I'm gonna go do Infernal Festival again.
Oh, fuck it.
Kind of like my yearly pilgrimage. For like well, it's gonna be 3 years now
Oh,
doing
really?
that.
Whoa.
Yeah. But anyway, man, enough about me. I could ramble on. Uh, so what's on your playlist as of late besides your own band?
Well, I've been listening to a lot of Black Sabbath actually lately.
Yeah.
A lot of Black Sabbath, a lot of Electric Wizard. Just it's been so diverse. It's hard to like put to word really. I mean, everything from Static X to like fucking Jimi Hendrix, pretty much. You know, like I said already, good music is good music. So I have like a playlist with just songs I really like. I put on shuffle, and here is some brutal death metal, and here is some electronica from '98. But mainly I've been listening to a lot of Electric Wizard, Black Sabbath, Devourment, Corn, Seven Dust, Static X, Dope, Drown and Pull, Slipknot. I mean, new metal and slam, they're always in rotation, no matter what mood I'm in. So, but a lot of Black Sabbath. I've been in a Black Sabbath mood lately.
So any particular album with Sabbath?
Actually, my favorite Black Sabbath album is oh no, it's called something with ecstasy, technical ecstasy, I think
Oh,
it's called.
Technical Ecstasy,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, that's my favorite.
Wow. You
I
don't hear
mean,
that too much. You're definitely an outlier when it comes to Sabbath albums, man. With that one,
yeah, I know. That's a that's a hard take to like to say that's the greatest Black Sabbath album I know, but I mean, Dirty Women,
yeah.
that song is that's one of those songs I cannot listen to while I'm driving unless I want to lose my driver license. It's like it's so good. But
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm a Aussie person definitely when it comes to to Black Sabbath. I love Dio era as well, but
Oh yeah.
and beside that, I mean, I'm not really. I mean, Tony, of course, is awesome, but uh, for me, it's Aussie. That's sort of the main Black Sabbath for me.
Mhm. I want to talk about what are some of your goals you have with Circle of Nerves, man? Like, I mean, I know it's based on friendship. I know you want to keep that friendship intact, but are there any specific band goals that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I mean, we are very passionate about the band actually, so we want to try to take it as far as possible. Like, hopefully, 2025 will be Circle and Earth year. Gonna put out music, play shows. We just want to reach out as much as possible. Try to make people. They don't have to like it, but at least as long as they know we exist, that's the most important thing. Like our goal really is just, I mean, the dream is to be able to fucking live on music. I mean, that would be the coolest fucking thing ever. And obviously everyone says that, but I mean, how awesome would it be to just fucking tour? And I've toured before, so I know how it is. Just sitting in a
Oh yeah.
small fucking van, smelling like shit, and because you haven't taken a shower in like a week. Uh, hey, that's my fucking dream. So hopefully one day Circle on Earth will be at that level. So cross my fingers. But yeah, I mean,
What what is something you're most proud of when it comes to your musical career, I'd say at this point? Like what's something that you could definitely like say, yeah, I fucking did that.
hmm. No, nothing. I know. I don't. I probably Circle of Nerves to be honest, because like Circle of Nerves, it's like it's so cool to be in a band where it's like I'm proud of being in Circle of Nerves because just three friends playing fucking music. I love Giesi, I love Marco, uh, and I I do like our music. It's pretty good if I say so myself.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just proud to like to be a part of Circle Nerds because I mean it's hard to like I said earlier, to be in a band without sort of having conflicts out. Like it's always like, you know, either you're in a band with people that you don't like, or you're in a band with people that you do like, but it's just for fun, so nothing really happens, if you know what I mean. You're just in the garage playing cover songs, but we actually managed with Circle and Nurse to be friends and actually do music ourselves. So I'm really happy with just being in Circle and Nurse. That's probably my main thing I'm proud of.
What was the last movie y'all watched together?
It was um it was I think it was called I have the it was a really bad slasher from 81, I think. I do not remember. It was like no one have heard of it probably. It's like super unknown. Uh, it was pretty much exactly like Friday the 13th, except it was
Okay.
except a different character. It was pretty bad, but I mean, we just watch random movies, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's we don't watch like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars like good like movies like that. We much watch more like, have you seen this B movie from like 78? Like
Yeah,
those
yeah.
type of movies. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do remember that we watched the newest Hellraiser.
How was that?
It was pretty good after a couple of beers. But that movie was shit.
Yeah, real yeah. I something told me that it wasn't gonna measure up to the first three. I'm when it comes to Hellraiser, like it just it begins and ends with the first three for me.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Man, so I need to know what are six albums you just Anton cannot live without. Like which ones you
Oh,
taking?
um, Iowa for sure. Um, Felons and Revolutionaries from Dope. The Fat of the Land from Prodigy.
That's a really good album.
I love that album. That's one of those albums that I grew up on. My dad always used to play Firestarter. Um, so
Smack my
definitely,
bitch
oh
up.
dude, that's the one I'm listening to, and I'm, well, let's just say not very clear minded.
I got you.
um, and the fourth one would probably be probably in the backyard from Pig Destroyer. The fifth one would be uh, Antichrist Superstar from Marlon Manson, and the last one is probably Destroy the Opposite from Dying Fetus.
There you go.
So
You got some sick ones in there for sure, man. Before I let you go, is there anything that as a 24-year-old musician, you have any advice for a young and upcoming musician, whether it be someone older who wants to learn how to play, or like thinking about being in a band, or just something that you know, some good advice.
I don't know. I feel like I need advice. My advice would be not to listen to me, honestly. I don't know. Just fucking
Get some
like.
pearls of wisdom from you, bro.
I mean, my advice would be to be original. Like, not don't try to copy people. Or don't try to copy other bands. Just do something different
There you go, man. I like that. Be original, be authentic.
and
I'm not
make
gonna be
good
proud.
music.
Make your music, man. Just make it music that don't suck, and hopefully you don't sound like trash.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully,
if you
don't
do,
sound like Cradle of Filth.
I didn't say it. You did. Anton, dude, this was so fun, man. I'm gonna keep in touch with y'all, and I'm looking forward to what y'all put out. Uh, tell GC I said hello.
I sure
Well,
will, dude.
probably just did that myself, but man, yeah, y'all, yeah, man, keep producing and recording and you're writing some bangers, dude. I'm really
Oh,
really
thank you, thank you. Glad to
I'm
hear
really
that.
I'm really looking forward to what y'all do next.
Hopefully you like it. It's gonna be heavy. I can tell you that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely heavy, man. Yeah. Thanks for coming on board. Yeah.
Well,
So,
thank you for having me, Mo. It's been awesome. It's really cool.
oh yeah, man. Try to make it real relaxed and real relaxed for you, and not to come at you like a fucking interrogator and all that good shit.
Yeah,
But yeah,
handshake on that.
yes, yes. Uh, this Anton from Circle of Nerves. Check out they're on Instagram. They're on Bandcamp, right?
Yeah, pretty much everywhere you can find us. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, you name it.
It's your time to promote, buddy.
Fuck. Listen to Slipknot, listen to Dying Fetus and Devourment, and if you have time, listen to Circle of Nurse as well.
Listen to them. All right. Thanks,
Take
buddy.
care, everyone. Thank you.
You have a good one.
You too, brother. You too.